welcome back to this week's episode of AMA Friday with Amy Miller, Recruiting in Yoga Pants. All right, so I've been thinking about this one for a couple weeks, and I've decided to make this a two-parter. So we're talking about recruiter outreach. And I want to address this from both the job seeker point of view, so what I would recommend that you do, or that the questions you want to ask yourselves, the things you want to think about before deciding to respond to a recruiter's outreach. And I also want to talk to recruiters because we are so, oh boy, do our egos get in the way sometimes. They just do, y'all. And I say that with all the love and the affection in the world that I can muster for some of y'all, but damn, you people make us look bad. So I'm going to address that in a follow-up video. Okay, so I want you to, like, this week, overview, dig into the job seeker side. Next week, recap, dig into the recruiter side. Okay, so come back. Alrighty. So first of all, I stand by this philosophy. Okay? I'm gonna be very clear. This is my line in the sand. On both sides. Not every message deserves a response. Not every message has earned a response. And friends, we have got to be okay with that. That is both for my recruiter friends who are sending those emails and in-mails and text messages to prospective candidates or applicants and trying to get someone on the phone with you. And for my job seeking friends, same goes for you. And I'm sorry to say this, I know somebody's going to come along and be mad about this, but the reality is, if you are sending me a message and, hey, Amy, here's my resume, I need a job, the odds that I can do something with that would be of any value to you are slim. Okay? And with all the other things on my plate, I am most likely never even going to open your resume because there was nothing there that said, oh yeah, you could be a fit for the roles I am working on, which, by the way, are listed on my profile, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, so let's get into this. So I want to talk to my job seekers on two topics: the incoming resume, or the incoming messages that you're receiving, as well as your outgoing messages. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with recruiters next week. Incoming messages for you. So what prompted this little mini series was a individual who works in tech, and by all accounts, everything that I mean, I don't know them personally, but everything that I see, they seem to be good at their job and very knowledgeable and, you know, all the things. I don't recruit in that industry at all or anything close to it, so no need for me to engage with this person. But they shared what I interpreted as a very honest, transparent post, sharing some frustration about the constant outreach from recruiters. And I agreed. Like, I read it, and it's, you know, again, it's one of those like, hey, I came across your profile and I was so impressed. I'd love to schedule a time to talk. Whoever wrote that line, man, if y'all had like copyrighted that stuff and got royalties every time we used it, you'd be a gazillionaire. Because every recruiter I know, including myself, is guilty of using that tired ass line that tells no one nothing about what the hell it is you want to talk about. It's embarrassing. I always like type it. It's like this weird muscle memory takes over, and then I read my message. I'm like, oh God, don't say that, and I take it out. Talk more about next week what I do. But it's bad. It's bad. So stop doing that, number one. But this individual shared, like, hey, look, y'all do this to me all the time. And they actually responded and shared their response: if there's no job, I'm not interested. Something along those lines. And recruiters got salty. I mean, there are recruiters who are like, I work with lots of companies and I have lots of jobs, and now you'll never know because you won't give me 30 minutes of your time. And there were also other people, non-recruiters, shockingly, who were defending it. Well, you should just talk to recruiters because that's what networking is all about, and we should all talk to everybody all the time. No, I don't have time for that, y'all. I have a family, I have dogs, I have a job, I have hobbies, my plants need watered. I don't have time to take a 15-minute call from every recruiter who came across my profile. And I'm willing to bet that you don't either. So job seekers, here's what I want you to understand. Oh, first of all, not even understand. I want you to take your power back. When you are an active job seeker, it is so easy to fall into this trap of, I have to take every call. I have to respond to every message. I can't possibly leave any stone unturned, because what if this is the one that pulls me up out of poverty and lets me keep my house? I've been there. I understand the emotion and the frustration and the fear that is bubbling underneath the surface of that. I'm going to encourage you to consider the ROI. Okay? I cannot control, and I would never want to control, how you manage your job search. I want to advise you, I want to give you some things to think about, and I think there are smarter ways to do job search that don't include reactively responding to every garbage message that comes into your inbox. But if you are going to do that, let me propose something to you. This is what I did when I was open to work, or when I was like getting a lot. I don't get any now because nobody's hiring recruiters, but if they were calling me. But something that I have done in the past is I actually have a template set up. So every time I would get an email, somebody who wanted to just, jump on a call for 15 minutes because my profile was so impressive, I would respond with this template. And in that template, I say, thank you so much for reaching out to me. I'm glad you saw something that sparked your interest. I'm either very interested in making a change, or I'm not actively looking, but, so you can kind of start either way. Here's what I'm looking for in my next role. And I would lay that out. I'm currently a senior recruiter. I have a dotted line responsibility for A, B, and C. I'm interested in a role that allows me to do X, Y, Z. I could not consider an offer less than X total comp. I'm flexible on how we get to that number. I'm very interested in understanding compensation plan, bonus potential, equity. If the role you have in mind fits this criteria, I would be happy to connect with you. Do you know how many responses I would get to that message? A whole lot less than I was responding to, I promise you that. Lots of crickets, but you know what else? Lots of time saved not getting on a call with somebody who ain't got shit for me. So, that is my number one suggestion for my job seeking community, okay? You know your boundaries. You know your boundaries. And if you don't know your boundaries, let me recommend creating some of those boundaries. I talk to a lot of job seekers who are like, I will do anything, I will take anything. And I understand that, but how is that working for you? Are you getting lots of anything offers that you can jump on? Probably not. Because even though we do it to ourselves on the recruiting side by sending these vague ass messages that have no context or content that's really helpful for you to respond to, we are ultimately looking for something specific. And if that's not you, we're not going to call you anyway. I know that about us. We're going to talk about it next week. So number one, job seekers, do this for your own sanity. Understand your parameters. Understand here's my minimums, here's my dream job, here's what I'm really good at, here, whatever it is, put that into a template. And it is so easy for you to just drop that into a response and just wait and see if the recruiter's serious. In a perfect world, that recruiter who's reaching out to you is giving you enough information to make a decision on whether or not this is a viable option for you. If they are not, it's okay for you to provide that information. I'll put this in the blog post. So I'm going to write a blog post to go with this video. I'll put the templates and things in the blog post that you can use. Maybe we'll add a new template to the FAQ section of the website. But it is absolutely okay to take your power back and to really own what, who, and how you respond. Okay? That's important. You deserve at least that much. Okay? Now, you may not be comfortable drawing that line in the sand. You may not be comfortable, saying, well, I need at least 80,000 a year or I can't consider this. Like you might be open to 75, right? So you don't want to price yourself out, and I get that. You can create an alternative template that asks questions. If you think recruiters aren't using automation and templates and campaigns and shit, oh, we're going to talk about it next week. You don't want to miss this because I'm going to tell you what we do. You can do the same. Have a template. Thank you so much. I am actively looking. My interview availability for the next week is this. I'd be happy to discuss. However, before we schedule a call, can you give me some additional information? Question A, question B, question C. Nothing wrong with that. Again, in a perfect world, the recruiter is bringing you that information to begin with. If they're not, there's a very, very easy way to respond quickly and efficiently and weed out the recruiters who are ultimately not serious to begin with. All right, friends, I hope this helps. A lot more I could have said on this topic, but we'll leave it there for now. I will get the templates created. The blog post is available to you, so you can click on the link down below in the description box and see that. Let me know if these work. If you try them out, hopefully you are using them as a guide. You are tweaking them to fit your own natural language communication style. This is not meant to be a copy-paste exercise. This is meant to be suggestions that you can tweak to fit your specific circumstances. All right. Let me know down below what you think. Recruiters, if you have any other suggestions for our job seeking community, please drop them down below and come back next week where we talk about the recruiter messages. We'll see you then.